This day 869 the Arukh HaShulchan. If you'd like sponsor coming share more of the Arukh HaShulchan, please let me know directly. It'd be greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Siman Tuf Kuf Samach Beis Yud Dalid till Yud Tes. Yes, so we're still on the issue here of when you are allowed to break a fast if it's not one of the standard fast when you're makabel by yourself, or one mita because of a minhag or a neder or kabbalah. You doubt. Avatur kosav zenoshon kosav every has misha royal lisanos aseres mechuva. So it has a minute to fast aseres mechuva. Ain't so glasanos aser yom atzuz kochavim. You have to fast 10 days until seis. Rakad sheitzim basically only until you leave shul. The tzara ba'amakabel, just makab by yourself. The anguish, not as precise time. You part by Tamuda later of Chista. Since the Gemara asked from the Mishmar who were Misana didn't fast, the Mishai Hosam Tzir Ba'alma, the Misana didn't fast. The Misana didn't complete the fast. The Mishai Hosam Tzir Ba'alma. The Gemara says there that they were just Makabel Tsar. This Lamar Elamisha Kibbul of times for favors. That which you have to wait till it says it's only if you can Makabel times for favors. So sometimes Yom Sholim, because a tinus is a complete day. I was saying Chuba Loba and says Chuba when I'm a Kabel tinus a Kabel Tsar. Be'en regilus likabel b'tefillah b'aseres mechuva. We're not makabel tayis and tefillah during aseres mechuva. Therefore, it has its status of tsar, not its status of tainus. Zeu da'ase yeshim shabbaror. That's the opinion of yeshim shabbaror. V'chlek Rashi kosov d'ochel masach yetza. Argues Rashi says you can eat whenever you want. Sheyitzurkli some says you have to fast till you leave shul at night because the tainus and it calls it a fast. El shein tzar says it doesn't have to be till tzeis. Since it's a tinus, even though it doesn't have to be till tzeis, you can still say anenu. Mordechai goes to Shish. Look at the Rashi mispal anenu. Mordechai goes to also say anenu, not like Rashi. Tesla feels like the shochem v'shitasa. Roshan says we go. He feels like the shita of the tour, quoting the Aviezri. The Nekvar Beyond Rashi's and according to Mordechai goes to Shri. Nekvar Beyond Rashi's house really the whole tiny shokal of Chama and it says Kovin Elad Shkir Bavad. But it says but anyway, Rashi who says you don't say Anenu if not mashlim the fast, but he holds that Shlama is until Shkia, not until Tzeis. So that which says the Anshe Mishra and Messiah weren't mashlim, that's even before Shkia. They want. There's no limitations. So it's not tinus at all. But the Tur Navezi is still the whole time so it says covering. The Tur Navezi normally hold, you have to go to Tzeis. Much Kasa Tur Ayin Sham, and the Mordechai writes in the name of the Rav Yah, who is the Aviezri, this point of Tzeis. So if he's a Mashal Messiah, Zo Atzis Kom, that would say, you must honor, don't complete the fast, means don't complete until Tzeis. Avikom Kontzorch is a Vula Tainis. Still need a parameter, which is defining endpoint of the Tainis. So it's either sunset or Achar Shispali Makol harvest, after the community davens Marav. Shumi Plaga Mincha, which can begin from Plaga Mincha Shara B'Yakar Malayla, an hour and a quarter before nightfall. And that would be the time when you leave shul, slightly after Plag, when you finish Marav. Since there's a parameter, and before that you're not allowed to eat, saying daven anenu anytime before you reach that time. Shmuel says tefillas marav is not makev, so therefore it's not a certain amount of time after Plag, but it's mamish after Plag, since that time, or maybe, actually doesn't mean that. No, it means the amount of time after Plag it would take. The amount of time after Plag would take to daven. Once you get to that time, you can break your fast even if you didn't daven marav. as long as that mincha first. And this is, by the way, true about any fast. You don't have to have, it's a popular misconception. To end the fast, you don't have to have a marv. Once it gets the zman, fast is over. You don't marv or not. Tezayin. Lefisa bir dvarim sh'Rabbeinu b'al Shulchan Aruch Kenu. This is how to explain the Shulchan. Mish mekabel tainis. Somebody who accepted tainis mamish, a true tainis. Pshita shetzorach l'samos et tzizkol chavim. These guys have fast l'tzeis. That's most of Poskim's opinion. I feel like being Ramah, you go to the monk, much time to see if you love. Taneisim, but the fashion going bone, koch minig, those which we accepted and stand for, which are accepted and stand on account of minig, come out, says, made shuba, like it says, shuba, mixas yamim, or some of those days, imrak, nogim, lisanos, but with medios, come on, beside Yom Rishon, shel slichus, there's, we are Rosh Hashanah, Shem Beli Kabbalah. If you're it's the one, it's one in which there's a ongoing minute to fast, like first of Slichos or Rosh Hashanah, which no Kabbalah is generally taken. Neither claim times in Anenu, they're called times for Anenu. Come answer Chashlama, it's but you don't have to go till Tseis. Adaya at a Shkia or Achat Fiel Service. Enough to go to Shkia or after Marv. Because since there's a boundary before which you're not allowed to eat, Mikre Tainis, called times for Anenu. Shalatian writes that the minhag is to be mashlim, you have to be mashlim. And perhaps somebody doesn't want to be mashlim, she needs that Torah's chacham. And perhaps he doesn't need that Torah's chacham because perhaps it's at ner tos. So Shalatian is much more conventional about this. But even he says that perhaps it's in their toes. Bishua says that Machzor Shechel says that now many people do not have a custom to fast, especially on these days, like Rosh Hashanah, only till time mincha g'dayla, and you have a mincha, and then they break their fast, and that's what Prima Goyim writes this. And he says a weak person can certainly rely on this to fast only till mincha g'dayla, to daven mincha and filas anenu, and eat. So and that is indeed a minhag to even if those people fast half days, so to speak, they will fast till after mincha, knowing that they're going to eat and still make and still say anenu. But according to Arukh HaShulchan, that's specifically on a day which is a minhag to actually have a fast, and you fasted till one of those boundaries. It wouldn't work if you just fasted to mincha gedola, not like the Mishnah Berurah. Be'alach means machlekes about anenu, and he concludes. Nevertheless, seems that someone wants to rely on the Prima Goyim Machzor Shechel to say anenu, he's allowed to do so. And as we said, the truth is, even according to Arukh HaShulchan, really it's only after Yunifil Chazan, because for the individual, he can say anenu, and although we said before, you should take out the word som tani seinu, but still. It's to a certain extent it's a tzom, so it's not mechsek shikra necessarily. Okay, but anyway, let's go for the Arukh HaShulchan. Amisani min Yudzayin b'Tammuz. Oh, we didn't get it yet. B'chein v'chasim yom chupaso, so to chasim the pschucha shetzorach lesanas arach haruchupa as fast as I have a chuppah. So gvula, that's his boundary. Chein spala anenu koram a chuppah. So it's avin. Anenu before the chuppah. It's the achal ishtas kosher bracha. You drink with the kosher bracha at the chuppah. The Mishnah Berurah again is more conventional about this. He says it's best for the chassid to make a tanai that he's not going to be mashlim the fast. Avin misayim Shiva Sabbatam said Tisha B'av, but those people fast from Shiva Sabbatam till Tisha B'av says Shulchan Apolo Kabbalim with the Adam Kabbalah Tzrichim Lashlim Atzeis Kochavim. They got to go all the way till Tzeis. Why? The cave on there's big chiddush about to say. Came Tanisim al Churban says the fast of the Churban Meil Davik Shiva Sabbatam Tisha B'av. It's an extension of Shiva Sabbatam or Tisha B'av, and therefore it's more chomer. The Chema says Mei Tshuva Osim Shem Misanim Tami B'Shaveh. Those who don't fast always on the same dates, the same specific days. Just a day or two, not perennially, those same 1 or 2 days. Just sometimes this day, sometimes that day. I know it's a big chiddush. I mean, not big chiddush, but it's a chiddush what I'm saying, because it's Kabbalah and completion. Any day of a session tshuva should just be a minute for Matam tshuva. But all right, But no, he says you need Kabbalah Shlami. You keep a tiny stamp, Tzorch Lashim, it's also be Kabbalah tinies generically. You have to go to Tzeis, Amami Snubbish, Shas Kabbalah's a tinies, Sholashim, if you made a stipulation, except tinies, not to complete it, Pshita Sharashus Bihado, obviously you have the right to do that. Main Tzorch Lashim, you don't have to complete the tinies. It all goes according to your Kabbalah. The Bir Halacha says that when about the search Tshuva, even if he's not accustomed to have, he himself is not accustomed to fast, but in that city, many fast on trying to search Tshuva, and he also wants to fast like those other people. So also, then Mistabit is joined according to their minhag, and you don't need a Kabbalah or Hashlama if they're not Kabbalah or Mashlim. We should have said that also if you stipulate beforehand, before the Kabbalah, in other words, you didn't actually say in the Kabbalah you're eliminating fast, you stipulate beforehand. We said the Kabbalah, which is Makam afterwards, is a das of the Tanai, which he had in mind, stipulated before the Kabbalah. Okay, the long brackets here. Zel bir dir v'shulchan. That's the Pshat Shulchan. The Kain Tira Shetov Taz Magen Avram. Eventually Taz Magen Avram was learned the same way. The Shkitzu Bikar Dvarim, they were over brief. But Divrei Bach Bezet Tzirchin Gado I jump. Bachi doesn't understand. For a more of a guy, the Sifa couldn't call him Nogin Gam Tais, the Tibushal Gomosh Litzanos. I'd say the Ramah wrote that even on a real tinus, so to speak, you don't fast till Tzeis, Achbekani Yishar Busa, but here there's a Chiddush, Tafil at Shkia in Sarich. Here it's going even further. He's saying that by this type of quasi tinus, you don't have to go to Shkia. Elad is cool, but that's his sun boundary. Come on, says Tshuva, Arachai Fil Sarvis. So everybody says Tshuva after Marv, Chasin Arachar Chuppah, Chasin till after Chuppah. Well, actually before the Chuppah, but Cheretz is that sort of. Mashi's Bira, Magen Avram Sikin with Gubav, Tasi going to give him a Chag Ben Asers Tshuva, Ben Ben Mitzorah. That which the Magen Avram has distinguished between Asers Tshuva and the 3 weeks. Mishum Asers Tshuva, Tainis Ala Asid. Asers Tshuva, the Tainis in the future. This is their distinction. The Tainis Tshuva fast in the future. Ben Mitzorah, the Tainis on the past and the Churban. That's the Taz Magen Avram. But Kashat's here. It's difficult to grasp this, I guess. The Mishabur goes with the Taz Magen Avram. And this distinction, evidently comes from Zedeshin, but Bach meets Marmber. So Marmber is Bach is bitter against the Shumas Zedeshin. Because Kushiatsumi asks a tremendous question. Machta Elizabeth Tzorek Shlo Hishlim Buisan Alavar. Elizabeth Tzorek didn't complete the fast, even though it's fasting on the past. But Taz Magen Avram, Nichul Taretz Taz Magen Avram have a direct answer. So if you much have the Ein Zaikar, but that way, that which I wrote, that's not the primary reason. This is between the Korban and Tshuva. Dugan Ba'amo is just an example. It's just an example of distinctions that one has to pass in the future, but that's not the primary reason. Because came in the shame ben Yeshiva Sabbatam as a Tishbav, mainly is this because it's between Shiva Sabbatam and Tishbav. Tainis Kavan Achas Lahem and has the same intent. Al Korban, he came Mel the Mashlim as his Korban, so you may automatically go to Tzeis. Like Shiva Sabbatam and Tishbav themselves. Mashkim back to Elizabeth Tzarek should be Tishbav Gufaloya Mashlim. Elizabeth Tzarek, even Tishbav itself, we within complete. Mafisa ain't Shum Askal Kushir Sabach. Sabach's question does not begin. Call the Milsa. General principle is Kominei Tanesim Shloba Kabbalah. All sorts of fasts without Kabbalah. Ain't Tzarek Lashim and says Go Chavim. You don't have to complete until it says Elan Eza Gvul, but there's some boundary. You fast from Rosh Chodesh El. One exception is Bein Mitzrayim B'Tam Shebiarnu, because the reason Churban, the reason we explained, is Siyata Dishmaya B'Duk. There's an article by Rabbi David Palmer on the International Dateline and related issues, and he links down there that Nachal Eshkol says that in Stockholm, Sweden, they were only fasting Shiva Sarbet Tammuz until 9 p.m. And that evidently the Nachal Eshkol is miyash that because our Tanesim, except for Tisha B'Av and Yom Kippur nowadays, have a get of Tanis Yochid, and Tanis Yochid evidently has to do with the Kabbalah, even and therefore then Makabel that to be the Gvul, that would be the Gvul, which is I don't know if the Arukh HaShulchan would agree, because Arukh HaShulchan is obviously talking about individual fast mamish, but this Nachal Eshkol's justification of the minhag is an extension kind of the Arukh HaShulchan's principle. Okay, Yud Zayin. Yochid Shkibel of Tainis Stam Lisanos Be'erev Shabbos. An individual accepted himself without elaboration to fast on Erev Shabbos. So the Satan says, "L'chavim mizgat to fast till says." In which Pirish B'Shas Kabbalah Tais, unless he specifies him as a Kabbalah Tais, Ad Sheshimo Tzibur Tefilosam, until the Tzibur completes their tefillah. Shmuel says it works also when he stipulates that he's only going to daven until after Mincha G'dolah, and still call it Tainis, and he can still daven on Enu. So the first sentence fast because they had a bad dream. Tzarich lisanos, they have to fast. Ad says until tzeis. If I feel Shabbos, even if it's Friday, it came to school chamra of Tainis, since the way to fix a bad dream is by fasting. Moshe Shabbos, you have a Tainis chalom keishnaros. Tainis is good for dream, like fire for sawdust. The Tainis gomer. So you need a full Tainis. And the same ratio test. Yudches kol Tainis yachid shlokim libod yom. Any Tainis that we should not accept before from the day before. Obviously, we'll say about where it's not part of it from a minute. Ain't no Tainis on Tainis. This man should not have run. Chem achayim b'chuyev is the Tainis and yotzei b'Tainis zul if third need mini drove. If a chuyev says Tainis, let's say so say if the fall down. It doesn't work. It's not. You don't exempt your or you made a nether. You don't exempt unless it's kabos tainis. Nevertheless, too bad. You have to finish it and fast it all the time when you had a mind to fast and to complete it. You do have reward. It atones for your sins. It's no worse than refraining from meat and wine, which is also kapore. Bracket says here, it's supposed to say this. You start fasting with the intent to complete. It's difficulty with the story of Avram. Says has no rationale. I've got the ratio between tough kuf samach gimel. Kasam the below kabbalah mincha eitzah sounds cloud. Even though he wrote that you're not don't have it all without if there's no kabbalah. That's what he wrote initially. And here it's about cases makabel verbally, but he was not makabel from the day before. Few tests. Anytime except from the day before. What happens if you did sin fast? Now, my Rabbi just said, you're like a bellows full of wind. It's like the bellows of a smith, which is full of wind. So it's also full of wind because he didn't eat for no good purpose. So, not like the Arukh HaShulchan said in the previous sif. From this it comes out the Yochel Lechol, although we'll see what the Arukh HaShulchan does with it in this sif and tomorrow's sif. So Mizem for the Yochel Lechol, Afin Kibbutz Love, at least in the house, even a Kabbalah to fast, Kem Shlokim Bod Yokas, and we didn't accept it yesterday. I think it's Abba Mordechai. Mordechai was the same thing. Mizel Shono, Kol Tainis Chulik Mashid Locha Shitainis, not considered fast, Mutal Lechol allowed to eat, Avish Kibbutz Love, even though accepted after nightfall, the sign is going to fast the entire day. They came local and didn't accept before the day ended. But says if you were not makabel kalashona, he called poskim some with the brand below kosarak lashon hashas. All the poskim just wrote as the Gemara writes. Avarabein Ramah yeshlit more, but Ramah we have to be astonished. The kosav sif hey adivan achabish kosak lashon hashas teino tainis. And that which the Mechaber wrote, it's not a fast, which seems to be taken for the Gemara. Kasav V'Zel writes, the Eino Tanis Lispal Anu, it's not a fast, it's not an Anu. So any Chayav Chaynes is not to make up a fast which I'm obligated to. Let's say he didn't fulfill his obligation. I can't show. Why did you write these out to eat? The Mokav Ram, because the first level, the Rambam says that you have to complete your Neder Klamer Chayli Senos. He has to fast. Which goes some Siva Kohen, like we're on Siva. There's no negative Rashi Mordechai that against the Rashi and the Mordechai. What are we going to do with it? Cliffhanger.